Before you believe another food trend, another miracle drink, another eat this and reverse disease overnight video, I want you to pause for just a moment. Because the most dangerous thing in your kitchen may not be sugar, oil, or processed food. Sometimes, the most dangerous thing is bad information. Every single day, people are being told that one food can cure everything, one supplement can fix every problem, or one secret ingredient can change their health in 7 days. And because the words sound scientific, because the person looks confident, because the video has millions of views, many people believe it. But views do not mean truth. Confidence does not mean credibility, and a dramatic headline does not mean science. Today I want to show you something simple but powerful. Before you ask, should I eat this food? First ask, where did this information come from? Because when your source is strong, your choices become stronger. And when your choices become stronger, your body has a better chance to heal, repair, and protect itself naturally. Now let's talk about this in a very simple way. Food is powerful. Real food can support your blood vessels, your gut, your immune system, your metabolism, your brain, and your energy. Colorful vegetables contain natural plant compounds. Berries contain polyphenols. Beans and lentils give your gut fiber. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats and minerals. Green tea contains plant compounds that researchers continue to study. But here is the key. No single food is magic. Food works best as a pattern, not as a miracle. That means when someone tells you, this one food kills cancer, or this one drink melts belly fat, or doctors don't want you to know this, that should immediately raise a red flag. A credible health source does not need fear. It does not need shouting. It does not need secrets. Real science explains. Real science shows evidence. Real science also tells you the limits. A credible source usually answers 5 simple questions. Who is giving the information? What are their qualifications? Where is the evidence? When was it published or updated? And why are they sharing it? Are they educating you, or are they pushing you to buy something? This is important because your body is not a trend. Your liver, your heart, your blood sugar, your gut, your hormones, your medications, your medical history. These are real. So before you add a new food, supplement, powder, cleanse, or extreme diet into your life, check the source. Let's say you see a video claiming that one fruit can starve disease. Instead of reacting emotionally, slow down. Look for the evidence. Does the person mention human studies or only animal studies? Are they talking about food as support? Or are they promising a cure? Are they explaining how much to eat, who should avoid it, and how it fits into a normal diet? Or are they making it sound like everyone should eat huge amounts every day? This is where wisdom comes in. A healthy food can still be used in an unhealthy way. Garlic is healthy, but too much may not be right for everyone. Grapefruit is natural, but it can interact with some medications. Green tea can be beneficial, but concentrated extracts may not be the same as drinking tea. Turmeric is powerful in food, but high-dose supplements are different from using spices in cooking. Natural does not always mean safe for every person. Now here is the science behind credible nutrition advice. Good nutrition science does not look at one dramatic story. It looks at patterns. It asks, what happens in groups of people over time? What do clinical studies show? Are the results repeated? Is the benefit realistic? Is the food safe? Does it work as part of a balanced lifestyle? That is why the best health advice usually sounds less exciting but more useful. Eat more plants. Build your plate with fiber. Add colorful vegetables. Choose whole foods more often. Reduce ultra-processed foods. Drink enough water. Move your body. Sleep better. Manage stress. These things may not sound flashy, but they are the foundation. So how do you use this in daily life? Start with your breakfast. Instead of chasing a miracle powder, build a simple plate. Add oats, berries, chia seeds, nuts, or plain yogurt if it works for you. You are giving your body fiber, plant compounds, and steady energy. At lunch, add color. A simple bowl with beans, greens, olive oil, avocado, vegetables, herbs, and a clean protein can do more for your health than a complicated trend you cannot maintain. At dinner, keep it practical. Add vegetables, lentils, fish, eggs, chicken, tofu, or whatever fits your culture, budget, and health needs. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency, and every time you hear a new claim, use what I call the pause test. Pause before you believe it. Pause before you buy it. Pause before you share it. Ask, is this source credible, or is it just loud? Is this advice balanced, or is it extreme? Is it helping me make better choices, or is it making me afraid? Because fear-based health advice is everywhere. Some people will tell you every food is toxic. Some will tell you only one diet works. Some will tell you that if you do not buy their product, you are missing the secret. But your body does not need fear. Your body needs nourishment, patience, and truth. A credible health educator will never make you feel hopeless. They will not tell you that one mistake ruined your health. They will not promise overnight miracles. They will guide you toward better habits, one step at a time. So here is a simple daily routine you can use. In the morning, choose one food that supports your body. Maybe berries, oats, eggs, greens, or fruit. During the day, drink water and add one extra serving of vegetables. In the evening, prepare a meal that looks like real food, not just packaged convenience. And before bed, remind yourself that health is built by repeated choices, not by one viral claim. Now let me be very clear. Food can support health, but food is not a replacement for medical care. If you have a condition, take medication, are pregnant, have kidney disease, liver disease, diabetes, heart disease, or any serious health concern, always speak with your healthcare professional before making major changes. The real power is this. When you learn how to judge the source, you stop being controlled by trends. You stop jumping from one miracle cure to another. You become calm. You become informed. You become responsible for your health in a smarter way. So the next time you see a video saying, "This food changes everything," do not just ask, "What is the food?" Ask, "Who is saying this? What is the evidence? Is it balanced? Is it safe for me? And can I use it in a normal, healthy way?" That one habit can protect your money, your health, your family, and your future. Your body deserves truth. Your health deserves patience. And your daily food choices deserve credible information. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs to stop falling for confusing health trends. And remember, the goal is not to fear food. The goal is to understand food, respect science, and use simple daily choices to help your body become stronger, one meal at a time. Before you believe another health video, before you share another miracle food claim, before you spend money on another powder, pill, tea, detox, or secret cure, stop for one moment and ask yourself a question that could protect your health, your family, and maybe even your life. Where did this information come from? Because today, the world is drowning in health advice, but not all advice is healing. Some of it is powerful, some of it is helpful, but some of it is designed to scare you, confuse you, and sell you something before you have time to think. Every day, millions of people open their phones and see a headline that sounds urgent. This food kills disease. This drink cleans your arteries. This one ingredient reverses aging. Doctors don't want you to know this. And in that one emotional second, fear becomes louder than science. Hope becomes stronger than evidence. A desperate person, a tired person, a sick person, or someone worried about their future may click, believe, buy, and repeat it. But here is the truth many people never hear. A claim can sound scientific and still be misleading. A video can have millions of views and still be wrong. A person can wear a white coat, speak with confidence, use medical words, and still give advice that is not balanced, not proven, and not safe for everyone. The first step to protecting your body is not finding the next superfood. The first step is learning how to identify a credible source. Because when the source is weak, even a healthy food can be presented in a dangerous way. Blueberries are healthy, but they are not a magic shield. Garlic has beneficial compounds, but it is not a replacement for medication. Green tea contains plant chemicals studied for health, but a concentrated extract is not the same as a warm cup of tea. Turmeric in food can be part of a healthy pattern, but high-dose supplements may not be right for everybody. This is why credible health information matters. It gives you the whole picture, not just the exciting part. It explains the benefit, but it also explains the limit. It tells you what the research suggests, but it does not pretend that early research is a guaranteed cure. It does not use fear as a weapon. It does not tell you that every doctor is lying, every medicine is poison, and every disease has one hidden kitchen solution. Real science is more honest than that. Real science says food can support the body, but food does not work like magic. The body heals through systems: blood flow, immunity, metabolism, gut bacteria, inflammation control, sleep, movement, hydration, stress balance, and medical care when needed. So when you hear a food claim, do not only listen to the promise. Listen for what is missing. Are they telling you who should avoid it? Are they talking about medication interactions? Are they explaining whether the study was done in humans, animals, or a lab dish? Are they showing one dramatic testimonial? Or are they showing repeated evidence? Are they teaching you? Or are they pushing you to buy before the video ends? This is where health misinformation becomes so dangerous. It does not always look foolish. Sometimes it looks polished. It uses emotional music. It shows dramatic images. It tells a story that makes you feel like you have discovered a secret. And then it gives you a simple enemy and a simple cure. But the human body is not simple. A person with diabetes, kidney disease, liver problems, heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, pregnancy, allergies, or medications cannot treat health advice like entertainment. A natural food can still affect blood sugar. A natural supplement can still stress the liver. A natural remedy can still interact with medication. Natural does not mean harmless. Viral does not mean verified. Popular does not mean personal. And this is why credible sources matter so deeply. A credible source tells you who wrote the information. It tells you whether the person is qualified. It tells you when the information was updated. It separates education from advertising. It does not hide behind mystery. It does not say, "Trust me." It says, "Here is the evidence," and that one difference can change everything. Imagine two people watching the same video about a powerful food. One person hears the claim and immediately changes everything. They stop treatment, buy expensive products, and ignore warning signs because they believe food alone will fix it. The other person pauses. They check a reliable health website. They ask their doctor. They compare the claim with real research. They add the food wisely as part of a balanced diet, without abandoning care. Same food. Two very different outcomes. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is the source. And the source can determine whether a health choice becomes helpful or harmful. That is why the first habit you must build is the pause. When a video shocks you, pause. When a headline scares you, pause. When someone promises a cure, pause. When someone says, "This works for everyone," pause. When someone says, "The industry is hiding this," pause. The pause gives your brain time to come back online. It gives wisdom a chance to speak before fear makes the decision. Then ask 5 questions. Who is saying this? What are their qualifications? Where is the evidence? When was it updated? Why are they telling me this? If the answer is unclear, be careful. If the claim is extreme, be careful. If the video makes you feel panicked, be careful. Good health education should make you feel informed, not trapped. It should make you feel empowered, not terrified. And when you finally choose a food, use it in real life. Not as a miracle, but as a habit. Add berries to breakfast, add greens to lunch. Add beans, lentils, herbs, nuts, seeds, vegetables, and whole foods into your week. Use garlic in cooking, not as a punishment. Drink tea as a supportive ritual, not as a desperate cure. Build a plate that your body recognizes. Let food become a daily conversation with your cells, not a quick emotional reaction to a viral video. Because your body does not need more confusion. Your body needs truth. It needs consistency. It needs credible information, simple meals, smart choices, and the humility to know that no single food replaces the bigger picture. The most powerful health decision you may make today is not what you eat next. It may be what you stop believing. Because once you learn to question the source, you stop being controlled by fear. You stop chasing every trend. You stop buying every promise. And you begin to build health the way the body understands it. One honest choice, one real meal, one credible source, one calm decision at a time. Food is powerful, but the truth is even more powerful. No single food is magic, and that is exactly why real food matters so deeply. Every time you sit down to eat, you are not just filling your stomach. You are sending instructions to every cell in your body. That plate in front of you can influence your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your gut bacteria, your inflammation, your energy, your cravings, and even the way your immune system responds to daily stress. This is not fantasy. This is biology. When you eat fiber-rich foods like beans, lentils, oats, vegetables, berries, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, you are feeding trillions of microorganisms living inside your gut. And those tiny organisms help produce compounds that communicate with your immune system, your metabolism, and even your brain. Think about that for a moment. Something as simple as a bowl of oats, a handful of berries, or a plate of beans can become part of a silent conversation happening deep inside your body. But here is where so many people get trapped. They hear that blueberries are healthy, and suddenly they believe blueberries are a cure. They hear that garlic supports health, and suddenly they swallow it like medicine. They hear that green tea contains powerful plant compounds, and suddenly they think more must always be better. But the body does not heal through obsession. The body heals through balance. A healthy food becomes powerful when it becomes part of a healthy pattern. It is not the one blueberry. It is the habit of eating colorful plants. It is not one cup of tea. It is the daily rhythm of reducing processed drinks and choosing something that supports your body. It is not one perfect meal. It is what you repeat when nobody is watching. Science has shown us again and again that dietary patterns rich in fruits, vegetables, fiber, whole grains, and minimally processed foods are associated with better long-term health. But the shocking part is this. Many people do not fail because they do not know what is healthy. They fail because they are constantly distracted by extreme claims. One week they are told to eat only meat. The next week they are told to drink only juice. Then they are told fruit is dangerous, carbs are poison, fat is the enemy, or one supplement will erase years of damage. And while they chase every new rule, they miss the foundation that has been sitting in front of them all along. Real food, simple food, consistent food. Food your grandmother would recognize. Food that grows from the earth, not food engineered to make you keep eating. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be fast, convenient, and addictive to the senses. But whole foods ask something different from you. They ask you to slow down. They ask you to chew. They ask you to nourish instead of numb. They do not scream for attention, but inside your body, they can do quiet, meaningful work. A fiber-rich meal can slow the rise of blood sugar. A colorful salad can deliver plant compounds that help protect cells from oxidative stress. A bowl of lentils can feed gut bacteria and help you feel full longer. Nuts and seeds can provide healthy fats and minerals. Leafy greens can bring vitamins, magnesium, and natural nitrates that support blood vessel function. But the lesson is not to worship one food. The lesson is to build a plate that works like a team. Your body is not waiting for a miracle ingredient. Your body is waiting for support from many directions. Blood vessels need support. The gut needs support. The liver needs support. The immune system needs support. Your cells need energy, oxygen, minerals, antioxidants, protein, fiber, hydration, movement, and rest. Food is one of the most intimate ways you give your body that support. But it must be used wisely, because even natural foods and natural products can create problems for some people. Grapefruit can interact with certain medications. High-dose supplements can behave very differently from food. Herbal products can interact with prescription drugs. A person with kidney disease, liver disease, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, pregnancy, allergies, or medications must be careful before making sudden changes. This is why credible health education never says, everyone should do this. It says, here is what may help, here is who should be careful, and here is how to use it safely. That is the difference between wisdom and hype. Hype gives you one dramatic answer. Wisdom gives you the whole picture. So how do you use food in daily life without becoming confused, afraid, or extreme? Start with the next meal. Do not try to change your whole life in one day. At breakfast, add one thing that gives your body something real. Add berries to oats. Add chia seeds to yogurt. Add eggs with spinach. Add avocado to whole grain toast. Add fruit instead of a sugary snack. At lunch, look at your plate and ask one simple question: where is the fiber? If there is no fiber, add beans, vegetables, lentils, greens, or whole grains. At dinner, do not ask, what miracle food should I eat? Ask, how can I make this plate more alive? Add color, add plants, add herbs, add a protein that fits your body and your culture. Use olive oil, nuts, seeds, fish, tofu, chicken, legumes, or simple whole foods in a way you can repeat. Because the meal you can repeat is more powerful than the perfect meal you quit after 3 days. And here is the emotional truth. Your body has been listening to your choices for years, but it is also ready to listen to your next choice. You do not need shame. You do not need panic. You do not need to punish yourself with extreme diets. You need a return to the basics that science keeps pointing back to. More fiber, more plants, more whole foods, less fear, less processed food, less confusion, more consistency. And when you do this day after day, something begins to change. You stop seeing food as a quick fix and start seeing it as a relationship. You stop chasing viral claims and start building daily trust with your own body. You begin to understand that the real miracle is not one food curing everything. The real miracle is that your body responds when you give it what it needs, again and again, quietly, patiently, faithfully. Food is powerful, but only when truth leads the way. And the truth is this. Your next meal will not change everything, but it can begin something. It can be the first honest step back to energy, balance, strength, and control. Not through fear. Not through hype. Not through a miracle claim. But through the simple, scientific power of real food used every single day. The moment you hear someone say, "This one food kills cancer," "This one drink cleans your arteries," or "Doctors don't want you to know this," your body may feel hope, but your brain should hear an alarm. Because these words are not just dramatic, they are dangerous when they turn complex human health into a simple viral promise. The human body is not a machine that breaks from one food and heals from one food. It is a living system of blood vessels, immune cells, hormones, gut bacteria, nerves, enzymes, organs, inflammation signals, repair pathways, and millions of chemical messages happening every second. So when a video tells you that one fruit, one seed, one spice, or one secret morning drink can reverse disease overnight, the first question is not, "Where can I buy it?" The first question is, why are they saying it like that? Because real science does not need to scream. Real science does not hide behind fear. Real science does not say, "Everyone else is lying, but I have the secret." Real science explains what is known, what is not known, who may benefit, who may be harmed, and what the evidence actually shows. But misinformation does something very different. It enters through emotion. It finds the person who is tired, worried, aging, inflamed, overweight, sick, or afraid of a diagnosis, and it offers them something they desperately want. Certainty. It says, "Do this, and everything will change." And that is where millions of people get trapped. Not because they are foolish, but because they are human. Fear makes people click. Pain makes people believe. Hope makes people buy. And the health industry online knows this. That is why some videos use shocking red arrows, dramatic music, fake urgency, and words like cure, detox, secret, forbidden, miracle, and guaranteed. These words are not always education. Sometimes they are marketing wearing a medical mask. The FDA has warned people for years about products that claim to cure serious diseases, because false promises can delay real treatment, waste money, and put lives at risk. Think about how serious that is. A person may hear that a natural product can cure cancer, control diabetes, or erase heart disease, and instead of seeing a doctor, instead of following a treatment plan, instead of checking blood work, they may chase a bottle, a powder, or a food trend. That delay can be costly. That delay can be dangerous. That delay can change a family forever. And this is why every health claim must be tested with calm thinking. If someone says, "This food kills cancer cells," ask where the study was done. Was it in a lab dish, in animals, or in real human beings? Because something can affect cells in a laboratory and still not work the same way inside the human body. The body has digestion, absorption, metabolism, dose, timing, genetics, medications, disease stage, and individual differences. A compound may look powerful under a microscope, but that does not mean eating a normal serving of that food will cure a disease. This is where many viral health videos twist science. They take a small piece of truth and stretch it into a huge promise. Maybe a plant compound was studied for inflammation. Maybe a spice was studied for antioxidant effects. Maybe a fruit was linked with better health patterns. But then the video turns may support into will cure and early research into proven fact. That is not education, that is exaggeration. A credible source will never hide the difference between possibility and proof. A credible source will say, this may support health as part of a balanced diet. A misleading source will say, this changes everything. And when you hear those extreme words, pause, because the pause may protect you. The pause gives your brain time to separate hope from evidence. The pause stops fear from becoming a purchase. The pause reminds you that your body deserves more than a viral shortcut. Another red flag is when someone says, it's natural, so it's safe. That sounds comforting, but it is not always true. Nature gives us food, oxygen, water, and medicine, but nature also gives us poisonous mushrooms, toxic plants, allergens, and substances that can harm the body in the wrong dose. A food used in cooking may be safe for most people, but a high-dose capsule or concentrated extract can act very differently. Grapefruit is natural, but it can interact with certain medications. Herbal products are natural, but some can affect blood thinners, blood pressure medicine, diabetes medicine, surgery risk, or liver function. So when a video tells everyone to take something daily without mentioning medications, pregnancy, kidney disease, liver disease, diabetes, heart disease, cancer care, allergies, surgery, that is not complete health education. That is a missing warning sign. And missing warnings matter, because the person watching may not be a healthy young adult. They may be an older parent on 5 medications. They may be recovering from surgery. They may have high blood pressure. They may have kidney problems. They may be fighting cancer. They may be pregnant. They may be scared. A credible source remembers these people. A misleading source speaks as if every body is the same, but every body is not the same. Your age matters. Your medications matter. Your diagnosis matters. Your blood work matters. Your history matters. That is why health advice must be personal, careful, and balanced. Another red flag is the enemy story. Doctors hate this. Big companies are hiding this. They ban this because it works. These phrases are powerful because they make you feel like you have discovered hidden knowledge, but they also make you distrust everyone except the person selling the claim. That is manipulation. Real health education does not need to make you paranoid. It does not need to turn you against your doctor, pharmacist, dietitian, or medical team. It encourages you to ask better questions. It helps you become informed, not isolated. The most credible voice is not the loudest voice. It is the voice that shows evidence, gives context, respects safety, admits limitations, and encourages medical guidance when needed. So the next time you hear a dramatic food claim, do not reject it instantly, but do not believe it instantly either. Hold it in your mind and examine it. Ask, is this claim too perfect? Is this person selling something? Are they showing real evidence? Are they using fear? Do they mention risks? Do they explain who should avoid it? Do they separate food from supplements? Do they tell me this supports health, or do they promise a cure? These questions are not negative. These questions are protection. They are how you take your power back. Because food is powerful. Garlic, berries, greens, beans, nuts, seeds, herbs, tea, spices, and whole foods can support the body in beautiful ways. But when someone turns food into a miracle weapon, they disrespect both food and science. The real message is not that food is weak. The real message is that truth makes food stronger. When you use food with honesty, it becomes part of healing habits. When you use food with fear, it becomes another trend. And your body does not need another trend. Your body needs consistency, safety, nourishment, and credible information. So remember this: if a health claim makes you panic, pause. If it sounds too easy, pause. If it promises to cure everything, pause. If it says natural means harmless, pause. If it tells you to ignore your doctor, pause. That pause may be the healthiest decision you make today. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine is not what you add to your plate. It is the misinformation you refuse to swallow. A credible source does not hide in the shadows. It stands in the light and lets you examine it. Before you believe any health claim, before you eat something, because someone said, it can cleanse your body, heal your gut, reverse aging, burn fat, starve disease, or change your life, there are 5 questions that can protect you from being misled. The first question is simple, but powerful. Who is giving you this information? Because on the internet, anyone can sound like an expert. Anyone can use medical words. Anyone can wear a white coat. Anyone can stand beside a shelf of supplements and speak with confidence. But confidence is not evidence. A camera angle is not credibility. A million views is not medical training. A person can speak beautifully and still be wrong. So you must look behind the voice. Is this coming from a doctor, a registered dietitian, a university, a hospital, a public health organization, a medical journal, or a government health source? Or is it coming from a page that never clearly tells you who is behind it? Because when a source hides its identity, that is not mystery. That is a warning sign. Your health is too valuable to trust a stranger who gives powerful advice, but gives no accountability. The second question is just as important. What are their qualifications? This is where many people get fooled. A person may be famous, wealthy, attractive, energetic, or inspiring, but that does not mean they understand human biology, medication interactions, chronic disease, nutrition research, or clinical evidence. Health advice is not the same as motivation. Your body is not a motivational quote. It is a living system with blood chemistry, hormones, organs, immune signals, microbiome activity, enzymes, and genetic differences. When someone tells millions of people to eat a food every day, take a supplement, avoid a nutrient, fast for long hours, drink a strong extract, or stop a treatment, qualifications matter. A credible expert knows how much they do not know. A credible expert speaks with care. A credible expert does not pretend every body is the same. A misleading voice often gives one answer for everyone. But real science understands that age, medications, kidney function, liver function, pregnancy, diabetes, heart disease, cancer treatment, allergies, and blood pressure can change everything. The third question may be the most important of all. Where is the evidence? Not the story, not the testimonial, not the emotional before and after picture. Evidence. Because one person's story can be moving, but it does not prove a treatment works. One dramatic recovery can create hope, but it cannot replace research. One lab study can be interesting, but it may not mean the same thing happens inside a human body. A compound may look powerful in a test tube, but your body must digest it, absorb it, metabolize it, transport it, and use it in the right amount at the right time. That is why credible sources explain the type of evidence. Was the research done in cells, animals, small human trials, large human studies, or repeated reviews of many studies? Was the outcome meaningful, or was it just a small change in a marker? Was the benefit linked to a whole dietary pattern, or did someone twist it into a miracle claim about one food? This is where misinformation becomes dangerous. It takes a small scientific detail and turns it into a giant promise. It takes may support and changes it into will cure. It takes associated with better health and changes it into guaranteed result. It takes early research and sells it as final truth. But credible health information does not need to exaggerate. It respects the difference between possibility and proof. The fourth question is one most people forget. When was this information published or updated? Health science moves. Recommendations change. Safety warnings appear. Studies are corrected. Better research comes out. What sounded promising 10 years ago may look different today. What was believed from a small early study may become weaker when tested in larger groups. This matters because old health advice can live forever online. A video can be outdated and still go viral. An article can be years old and still appear in search results. A supplement claim can keep spreading long after researchers have questioned it. So look for the date. Look for updates. Look for whether the source reviews its information. If there is no date, be careful. If the claim is old but presented like breaking news, be careful. If the source never corrects itself, be careful. Real science is not afraid to update. Real science changes when better evidence arrives. That is not weakness. That is honesty. The fifth question reveals the motive. Why are they telling you this? Are they educating you, or are they selling you? Are they giving balanced information, or are they leading you toward a product link? Are they warning you about risks, or are they only showing benefits? Are they helping you ask better questions, or are they making you afraid so you buy quickly? This is where health marketing can become emotional manipulation. Some messages are designed to create panic first, then offer the solution second. They tell you your food is poisoning you, Your body is toxic, your doctor is hiding the truth, and only their product can save you. That is not empowerment. That is pressure. A credible source can still sell something, but it should be transparent. It should clearly disclose conflicts. It should not disguise advertising as education. It should not make you feel that if you do not buy today, your health will collapse tomorrow. Because fear is a powerful sales tool. And when fear enters the body, people stop thinking calmly. They search for rescue. They look for shortcuts. They believe promises they would question on a normal day. That is why these 5 questions matter so much. Who is speaking? What are their qualifications? Where is the evidence? When was it updated? Why are they sharing it? These questions are like a shield between your body and misinformation. They help you slow down when the internet is screaming. They help you separate education from exaggeration. They help you protect your family from claims that sound healing, but may lead people away from proper care. And this is not about becoming negative. This is about becoming wise. Food can support the body. Plants contain powerful compounds. Fiber can feed the gut. Whole foods can support metabolism. Better meals can change the direction of a person's life. But when food advice comes from a weak source, even good food can be turned into confusion. The real tragedy is not that people want to be healthy. The real tragedy is that their hope is often used against them. So the next time a video grabs your fear and offers you a miracle, do not surrender your judgment. Pause. Breathe. Ask the 5 questions. If the source is credible, the truth will survive your questions. If the source is misleading, your questions will expose it. And sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is not eating a new food, buying a new supplement, or following a new trend. Sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is refuse to believe a claim that was never worthy of your trust. Let's say you see a video tonight that says one fruit can starve disease, one spice can destroy inflammation, or one drink can clean your arteries while you sleep. And for a moment, your heart wants to believe it. Because deep inside every human being there is a quiet hope that healing can be simple, fast, and hidden inside something natural. But before you run to the kitchen, before you buy the supplement, before you share that video with someone you love, you must stop and ask one life-changing question. Is this information helping me understand my body, or is it using my fear to control my choices? Because this is where many health claims become dangerous. They begin with a tiny piece of science, then stretch it into a promise the science never made. A study may show that a plant compound affects inflammation markers in a lab dish, but a lab dish is not a human body. A study may show benefits in animals, but a mouse is not a man, and a petri dish does not have a liver, kidneys, hormones, medications, digestion, stress, sleep, age, blood pressure, or a family history. This is the hidden truth behind many viral food claims. The headline sounds like a cure, but the research may only be an early clue. And early clues are not the same as medical proof. Your body is not a headline. Your body is a living universe of cells, organs, bacteria, blood vessels, immune signals, and chemical pathways working every second to keep you alive. So when someone says, "This one fruit starves cancer," ask what they are really saying. Was this tested in people with the disease? Was it tested in large groups? Was it compared with standard treatment? Was it measured over time? Was the amount realistic? Or would a human need to eat impossible quantities to match the dose used in the experiment? These questions matter because the dose can change everything. A normal serving of berries may support health as part of a balanced diet, but that is not the same as saying, berries cure a serious disease. Garlic in food may be part of a heart-healthy eating pattern, but that is not the same as swallowing high-dose capsules without knowing the risk. Green tea as a daily drink may be gentle for many people, but concentrated extracts can behave differently inside the body. Turmeric in a meal is not the same as a powerful supplement. Food is food, and supplements are not always food. This difference can protect someone's life, because natural does not automatically mean safe. Grapefruit is natural, yet it can interact with certain medications. Herbs are natural, yet some can affect blood thinners, blood pressure medicines, diabetes medicines, surgery risk, or liver function. A food that is helpful for one person may be risky for another person depending on medication, pregnancy, kidney disease, liver disease, cancer treatment, diabetes, heart disease, allergies, or surgery. That is why a credible health source never speaks as if every body is the same. A credible source does not just say, eat this. It also says, here is who should be careful. It does not only show the benefit, it shows the limit. It does not only create excitement, it creates understanding. Now imagine two people watching the same video. The first person is afraid. They hear the word disease. They hear the word starve, and they feel like they have discovered the secret answer. They stop listening to their doctor. They buy the product. They change everything overnight. They ignore symptoms because they believe the food is working. The second person hears the same claim, but they pause. They ask, what kind of study is this? They check a credible medical source. They ask whether the claim is about food, a compound, or a supplement. They look for risks. They speak with a healthcare professional before making major changes. Same video, same food, completely different outcome. That is the power of critical thinking. It does not destroy hope. It protects hope from becoming harm. This is especially important because serious diseases do not wait for misinformation to correct itself. If a person delays diagnosis, delays treatment, ignores warning signs, or replaces medical care with an unproven claim, the cost can become devastating. A false promise can steal time. And in health, time can be everything. That does not mean food is weak. Food is one of the most powerful daily signals you give your body. Colorful fruits and vegetables bring fiber, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. Beans and lentils feed gut bacteria. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats and minerals. Leafy greens support vascular health. Whole foods can help stabilize energy and reduce the pull of ultra-processed foods. But food works best as a pattern, not as a miracle weapon. The body does not ask for one perfect ingredient. It asks for repeated support. It asks for consistency. It asks for meals that nourish blood vessels, gut health, immune balance, metabolism, and cellular repair over time. So when you hear a claim about one powerful food, do not reject the food. Reject the exaggeration. Ask how to use it in real life. Can you add berries to breakfast instead of sugary cereal? Can you add greens to lunch? Can you use garlic, herbs, and spices in cooking instead of depending on processed sauces? Can you drink tea instead of sweetened drinks? Can you add beans or lentils a few times a week? Can you make the food part of a normal eating pattern you can repeat? That is where real change begins. Not in panic, not in obsession, not in chasing every viral cure. Real change begins when you turn good information into steady habits. And the most important habit may be the pause. When a claim shocks you, pause. When a video says doctors hate this, pause. When someone promises a cure, pause. When someone says everyone should take this daily, pause. When there is no mention of dose, safety, medications, or who should avoid it, pause. That pause is not doubt. That pause is wisdom. It gives your brain time to separate science from sales, evidence from emotion, and education from manipulation. Because your body deserves more than a dramatic headline. Your family deserves more than a forwarded miracle claim. Your future deserves information that is careful, honest, and complete. So the next time someone tells you one fruit can starve disease, remember this. Food can support healing, but misinformation can sabotage healing. Use food with respect. Use science with humility. Use credible sources as your filter. And never let fear push you into a choice that truth would have protected you from.